give you a hint. It's a county.
Is it Bexar County?
It is Bexar County.
Is it a state or are we looking at a county?
It's a county.
Yeah, see,
It makes it more difficult, right?
it does make it more difficult.
Can you tell me where Bexar County is?
Oh, okay.
Because San Antonio's like,
Yeah, it's
over here-ish.
okay. Okay. Here?
Very close. Could you show me where the Edwards Plateau is?
Edwards Plateau. I believe the Edwards Plateau is right up in here. Or no. I'm sorry. So Kerrville area, correct?
That's right. You nailed it. Yeah, you got it. Second try. That's perfect.
All right.
Can you show me where Frio County is on this map?
Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
The people of Bexar County have decided Propositions A and B are moving forward. So now that a downtown Spurs arena and expanded rodeo are one step closer to becoming a reality, our Katrina Weber talks with those who will be most impacted by these projects. And our deep dive into Bexar County's crime lab continues. Our Courtney Friedman will show us what's being done to bring down the number of drug seizure cases that are in limbo and which ones are being prioritized.
And multiple people, oh, you guys should go on Shark Tank. Ah, okay, whatever. Then you hear it again and again.
Well, tonight is their big night. I visited an area family ahead of their appearance on Shark Tank at 9 o'clock tonight. Hear their pitch for the Sharks coming up.
And get ready for some weather whiplash, especially over the weekend. We'll talk about the big changes, what it means for your weekend in just a bit.
We do begin this hour with some late-breaking news coming into our newsroom just a little over an hour ago. A San Antonio police officer is facing charges tonight. SAPD says Officer Richard Boyle turned himself into the Bexar County Sheriff's Office on a warrant for unlawful installation of a tracking device. We are still working to get more answers on what led up to his arrest. What we do know right now is that Boyle is a 24-year veteran of SAPD. All right, so the results are in, and the people have spoken and have decided. Propositions A and B are moving forward, and we're getting a look now at where exactly the votes came from. This is an election map of Bexar County right now. This was for Proposition A, which paves the way for the rodeo expansion at the Freeman Coliseum and the Frost Bank Center. So everywhere you see right here, the green, that is a pro-Prop A area, people in favor of, while everywhere in blue were areas where a majority of people voted against Proposition A. So Prop A ended up passing last night with a final tally of about 56% in favor, 44% oppose. All right, meanwhile, let's take a look at Proposition B. Prop B, of course, is the one that's one of the first big dominoes to fall the Spurs' way in their pursuit of that new downtown arena. Now, this vote was a little closer, coming in at 52% in favor, 48% against. And everywhere you see in green were people that voted in favor of Prop B. Everywhere you see in blue were those that voted against the proposition. All right, so just to be clear on all of that. All right, so the approvals of Prop A and Prop B in last night's election mean that the San Antonio Spurs will be putting down new roots in the downtown area in the years to come. But people who live near their current home, the Frost Bank Center on the east side, wonder what will become of those neighborhoods. Our Katrina Weber shows us why some are worried that it might be game over for economic development there.
These walls may not talk, but Spurs pride comes through loud and clear. For more than 2 decades, San Antonio's favorite team has had a home on the city's east side. Now that voters approved the plan known as Project Marvel, they'll be moving downtown.
With them leaving the neighborhood, it's sad,
Elizabeth Shropshire bought her home near Frost Bank Center soon after the team moved in. She expected a big boom in business.
That brought traffic, but it didn't bring the right traffic. It was a lot of times hard getting out of my driveway. I had to just wait.
The traffic, though, is money for Kenneth Barnes. Fans have paid to park at his home.
I was not really cutting into my hustle. It's just giving me one less hustle.
Others are worried about traffic in the future, specifically near a downtown arena.
What about the parking?
They don't have no parking down there now.
People here tell me they still have a lot of questions, both about the exact plans for downtown and for the future of this community. But some say they believe the idea of businesses growing here is all but dead.
Trying to develop, and they want to take everything and move it on a different side of town.
Brian Cruz, whose shop builds container homes, is a bit more optimistic.
Spurs is one attribute. It doesn't have a strong hold on whether businesses succeed around the East Side area or not.
He believes businesses there won't just survive, but thrive.
You still have the rodeo that comes through here for traffic. You have Expo Hall.
All of it, he says, should add up to a win. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, so we mentioned this is a big win for the Spurs and their supporters, but now a lot of people are asking, when could the new arena be built? The team says it is still in the design phase, and the most recent city timeline had the arena opening in 2032, around the time the Spurs lease on the Frostbank Center ends. But binding agreements still need to be drawn up, and nobody with the Spurs, Bexar County, or the city of San Antonio are giving us any hard dates on when we could expect all of that to be done.
And is there any ballpark you can give anybody at all? Because the only question our viewers really want to know is when. So when on anything?
Well, we're working on that. I mean, the election happened last night, and I'm looking forward to the conversation with the mayor and council.
So one of the city's next steps would be to actually acquire the proposed arena site, what had been the former Institute of Texan Cultures building downtown. The property actually belongs to the University of Texas system, and it's expected to cost about $60 million to do that. That's on top of the city's share of the arena construction.
Northeast ISD asked voters to approve $495 million in bond money through Propositions A through E. Most of them passed, 2 of them failed. Let's take a look. Proposition A, $400 million in infrastructure upgrades to schools across the district with a focus on HVAC and security improvements. This passed. Proposition B, $53 million in technology upgrades to several campuses across the district, including here at Coker Elementary. This passed. Proposition C, $29 million in renovations to the Blossom Athletic Center that includes the tennis facility, Northeast Baseball Complex, and the Jimmy Littleton Gymnasium. This passed. Proposition D, $9.6 million in upgrades to Heroes and Comalanders stadiums for things like new turf. This failed. Proposition E, $2.3 million in renovations to the Walker and Davis natatoriums. This failed. The results show voters prioritize infrastructure and security. NEISD Superintendent Dr. Sean Micah says overall this is a good thing for the district.
2 propositions didn't make it across the finish line, but when you look at the percentile of the money that we went out for a bond, 97% was approved by our voters. So I think it's a good day for Northeast, the community, our students, and our staff.
Dr. Micah says he hopes that some of the upgrades to HVAC systems can start by this summer. And he says all these bond projects will be completed in the next 4 to 5 years.
Props D and E, the ones that didn't pass. I mean, how badly did Heroes and the natatorium need these upgrades?
You know, the turf at the stadiums has a life expectancy of 10 years, and we're on year 8. And so that is something that we have to tackle pretty quickly. At the natatorium piece, that was really a new roof. We're going to have to figure those things out, you know, and again, it's so early after the election. My team and I just have to sit down now and figure things out. But I'm appreciative to the community.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
All right, to some other news now today. A mother was released from jail earlier this afternoon after charges against her were dismissed. She was accused of helping her son cover up the murders of Savannah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn child back in 2023. But in a courtroom surprise today, the case against Myrta Romanos was dismissed. Now, it happened because the prosecution was not ready for trial. Prosecutors asked the judge for more time, saying the gun involved in the 2023 murders had not been tested for DNA yet. A capital murder defense attorney not involved in the case told KSAT this is a huge win for the defense.
I do think that things need to be tested timely. It's a very high-profile case. There's lots of people involved, lots of moving parts, and I think that, I just think it's unacceptable.
In addition to Romanos, her husband and her son were also arrested. The district attorney's office said that it would not comment on the charges being dismissed against Romanos because of the other two pending cases. In separate stories, KSAT recently covered about the Bexar County Crime Lab. We found out despite having a backlog, the lab can typically fast-track requests from the DA's office for high-profile cases like this one. But the gun in this case was never sent to the lab for testing nearly 2 years after the crime. All right, let's get you a look outside here. Almost 6:08 on this Wednesday. Of course, with the time change now, things getting darker a little earlier and traffic still slow. A little back up there in the quarry area. 281 at the quarry, but no indication of an accident right now. Just pretty typical slowing for rush hour on this Wednesday evening. So we'll continue to keep an eye on the roads for you. Meanwhile, you may have seen this dramatic video yesterday. Turns out the UPS plane that came down in this fiery crash in Kentucky was actually on the ground here in San Antonio recently for more than a month. The Associated Press is reporting the plane was undergoing maintenance in San Antonio from September 3rd through October 18th. Our Dylan Collier called UPS and emailed ST Engineering, which performs maintenance on the on the planes at San Antonio International Airport. And we are still waiting to hear back. At least 9 people were killed in that crash yesterday in Kentucky. Well, the ripple effects of the government shutdown are intensifying ahead of the holidays. This video of a Houston airport over the weekend being shared on social media has some people shaking their heads because the wait time for some of these passengers was up to 3 hours. Well, at the moment, wait times at our airport ranged anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes. Our Pashada Pope spoke with travelers who say they are glad things are moving smoothly at San Antonio International.
This recent scene at Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport had officials warning travelers to arrive early because getting through security could take up to 3 hours. It's being said fewer TSA agents than normal are working thanks to the government shutdown.
We're here at San Antonio International Airport, where it's completely different from what we saw earlier this week in Houston, where TSA checkpoint lines were literally outside the door of the airport. One traveler we spoke to was coming through San Antonio for a business trip, says she was relieved that San Antonio is not experiencing the delays some other airports are.
I'm happy to see this TSA line. I dealt with a delay on my way here because of the government shutdowns and that, and if it wasn't for a work trip, I probably wouldn't have come.
San Antonio resident Arthur Nosovich says he heard about what happened in Houston and wasn't taking any chances with his travel plans Wednesday.
That's why I'm 3 hours before, my flight go, that's why I'm here.
The government shutdown is now the longest in history. TSA agents and air traffic controllers are still not being paid. The transportation secretary says travel issues will continue.
Because of that, we have seen staffing pressures throughout our airspace. Those who travel will see that we've had more delays. We've had more cancellations. We do not want to see disruptions.
This as the Trump administration announces it will reduce traffic at 40 airports across the U.S. starting Friday if the shutdown continues. Nosovich says with delays already happening, he's canceled his holiday travel plans.
I was thinking to visit my parents in Detroit, and I'm voided. No, I don't want to spend 3 days or something like this,
While we all wait for lawmakers to come together to end the government shutdown, now is the time to make contingency plans to make sure you make your holiday destinations. Pashada Pope, KSAT 12 News.
All right, well, still ahead, Courtney Friedman shows us what's being prioritized at Bexar County's crime lab to shrink the number of backlog of drug seizure cases. That's coming up. And a look outside on this Wednesday evening. Weather's been pretty nice, but changes are coming, and you might need to reach for the jacket or the extra layer again. Adam Keski will break it all down for us coming up. Hi, welcome back. Now, for 3 nights, we are taking you inside the Bexar County Criminal Investigation Lab, and we're looking into the backlogs of all 3 of their divisions. Backlog meaning that cases that go unworked after 30 days. So yesterday, Courtney Friedman told us about the firearms case backlog, and today she's tackling backed up drug cases and explaining what the director has had to do in order to bring those numbers down.
All the sludges, slimes, pills, powders, anything suspected of being a controlled substance is submitted to us for analysis.
Orrin Dim directs the Bexar County Criminal Investigation Lab, and his drug division has been on a roller coaster when it comes to backlogged cases.
So let's zoom into this. We requested 5 full years of data. Like Dim said, 2021 and 2022 look really good, even bringing this backlog of 740 down to 0. But here is where it starts to spike big time. This is March of 2023. And the big question is, why?
Part of the answer lies in this. Marijuana.
Our caseload used to be about 10% marijuana. It's now about 40% that. And the analysis of marijuana and THC takes about 3 times longer than other drugs.
With other drugs like methamphetamine or cocaine, you just test whether or not it's present. But with THC, some levels are legal in Texas, so they have to see if it meets the threshold.
This month, we got in a record 765 submissions for analysis. We go back in time a bit here, we were only getting in, 400 to 500 cases.
The backlog hit a peak of almost 4,600 cases in May of this year, so Dim turned to other crime labs for help.
So you had to outsource?
We had to.
And when was that?
So the contract was signed in April. The first cases went out in May.
Of
and
this
that's
year.
when you start to see this dramatic decline.
Yep.
2,445 cases. That's down from a high of about 4,500 cases 6 months ago. That's significant headway.
They've asked the county for more employees, and those positions were approved.
We are going to continue with the outsourcing right now to help get this backlog to 0. We got 2 positions this year. We're in the middle of recruitment. We'll get those up and trained.
What he wants the public to know is there are strict priorities for these drug seizure cases.
People in jail. That list has been maintained under 30 days through this whole process.
So no one's just sitting in jail waiting for you guys to do this
absolutely
work?
not.
Okay.
The next priority,
cases that the DAs need a lab report to indict.
That would delay a case at the backlog if the DA is waiting for it.
Right.
So there are fewer of those cases.
Much fewer.
And soon, hopefully none. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
While the number of drug seizures seems to stay high, DIM is testing out new technologies that may help tackle cases faster. The crime lab also is moving to a new facility in May. More space is expected to help efficiency. So coming up next in the series, Courtney is checking out the backlog at the DNA section of the crime lab. And to see her previous story on the firearms case backlog, you can always go to KSAT.com. Okay, on to weather now, and sorry, I'm just
getting used to this evening shift is what it
I
is,
miss
right?
Myra. No, she'll be back later. She'll be back later. But nonetheless, some changes are coming in the weather department.
Big time changes. Even just early tomorrow morning, another round of fog, and then we have temperature whiplash this upcoming weekend. I want to get you prepared for tomorrow morning. And just like today, we'll have some areas of fog, but I think it's going to be a little more widespread tomorrow for the morning commute up until about 9 a.m. and then it's all out of here and we'll have another sunny day. Now it's because the humidity is going to be a little bit higher than what it has been Thursday and Friday and even into Saturday, but then notice how the bottom really falls out and our humidity really plunges. I mean, we have really dry air moving in for Sunday and Monday because of our next cold front. Now leading up to it, very spring-like, 83 tomorrow, 86 on Friday, Saturday right near 90 degrees. And I think a good chunk of South Central Texas will hit 90, not necessarily officially in town, but in some outlying areas. And then by Sunday, it's a 20-degree drop. The warmest we'll get is 68, and Monday the warmest we'll get is 64. So that whiplash happens over the weekend. Let's talk about the temperatures. At this hour, 70s and 80s for most of the state. You get into Lubbock, 69, Amarillo at 60 in the typically cooler spots, but we don't have any of the really cold air yet plunging southward. It's up there, though. It's up in Canada. It's brewing way in northern Canada. Temperatures in the single digits, and that colder air is going to be plunging southward. Now, it does modify a bit as it heads southward, so don't expect winter-like conditions necessarily. But we will have some of the coolest air so far this year moving into town. Cold front hits before sunrise on Sunday. With it, gusty, cool breeze. I mean, we're talking wind gusts 45 miles per hour. Now notice the core of the cold air stays around the Midwest and parts of the Great Lakes, but still we'll get clipped enough by that cold front to really feel it. Morning temperatures will take a nosedive too. The next several mornings for the rest of this work week and even through Sunday, we'll wake up to temperatures right near 60 at sunrise. Then by Monday and Tuesday, we could very well be talking upper 30s at sunrise in town in San Antonio, and potentially even getting close to freezing in parts of the hill country. That would be Monday and Tuesday mornings. As for the wind, it's going to be a big headline on Sunday. Gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour. Not only gusty winds, but dry winds. Relative humidity down in the teens for percentages and even lower teens for percentages on Monday. So that dry air and the high wind gives us that elevated fire danger, particularly for Sunday, because any fire that would develop or could develop would spread very rapidly. 83, our high temperature today. That's well above our average high of 75, but shy of the record, which is 91, set back in 2017. Typically this time of year, you have to be at or around 90 to break a record, and Saturday's going to be close. We're almost in that record challenging territory. Right now, 77, but cooling quickly. By 8 o'clock, 71, 10 o'clock, 67, and then temperatures tomorrow morning, about 57, 58 in and around San Antonio. Lower 50s in the hill country, but warming up quickly. By noon, we're at 77, 83 the high temperature. And after a little bit of morning fog, we'll have a lot of sun. Carrizo Springs, Cotulla hitting 90 degrees tomorrow. Get ready for that whiplash in temperatures coming this upcoming weekend. And by the way, we do have the full moon rising right now outside, so take a peek at it.
Very good, sir. Okay, thank you for that. All right, on to Larry now. So the Spurs got a win at the Battle Box yesterday, and now they're trying to get a win in LA tonight.
Yeah,
if you will.
And, yeah, absolutely. And, and Stefan Castle was asked about that, Prop A and Prop B, and he was excited that they both went through.
Okay.
So he's also excited to face the Lakers tonight, and he's talking about the fact that Wemby wants to bounce back and just the type of defense that the Suns played on Wemby the other night. And in the NFL, the Panthers' Trayvon Merrick is taking home a weekly honor coming up. Spurs and Lakers will play for the first time this season when they face off tonight in Los Angeles. It's the first of 3 regular season games between the two sides. Victor Wembanyama is coming off his worst game of the season with 9 points at the Suns. I mean, Phoenix played great defense on Vic and really made it tough on him. That's part of why he shot 4 for 14 from the field. Now here's Steph Castle from Morning Shoot Around in L.A. discussing how the Suns D'd up Wemby.
Not allowing teams to stall him out. I mean, we know teams are not going to guard us regularly for as long as big fella's here. So, I mean, just finding ways to work around that, getting him easier shots, more touches. And then, I mean, yeah, just going back and watching that film from that game, just getting better at our defensive tactics and schemes, and just really putting it all together.
You're going to see about 100 different ways that people are going to play you guys.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, we know that that's the case, especially when guys don't want to guard him one-on-one. There's not many teams that have a guy that can guard him one-on-one. So just being able to work around that and then just find the right spacing around it too.
The Lakers will host the Spurs tonight at 9 local time. At last check, Fox, Harper, and Cornette are all out. Olynyk, Sohan, and Waters are questionable. The 2 newest members of the Dallas Cowboys defense are now at the Star in Frisco. Yesterday, the boys picked up defensive tackle Quinnen Williams and linebacker Logan Wilson in trades with the Jets and the Bengals. The Cowboys defense is not very good this season. They feel Williams and Wilson make them better. Quinnen was asked if the trade caught him off guard.
I definitely was surprised by it. It's unbelievable, though, man, to be able to come to an organization with so much history, so much talent on the team, great ownership, and great group of guys in the locker room, and a great head coach, and the things that they guys are doing here. So I'm super happy to be a part of this. I'm super happy to be a part of this defensive line group that's super loaded and super talented with Kenny Clark and O and Dante Fowler and Coach Aaron. Man, it's unbelievable to go to work with those guys, and I'm looking forward to it. So
I had an idea that it was going to happen. I wasn't sure when it would fully go through, but I kind of woke up this morning, got the call from Zach, my head coach in Cincinnati, and told me that they were sending me here, and went in and said my goodbyes to all the people that poured into me, and I helped pour into them. And so it was a tough goodbye, but it's time for a fresh start, and so I'm excited to be here.
Carolina Panthers safety Trayvon Merrick was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week for games played in Week 9. He's number 7 on the Panthers. The Smithson Valley High School alum recorded 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 passes defensed, and an interception return for 36 yards, the longest return of his NFL career in a 16-13 win at Green Bay. Here's how that pick sounded as Trayvon was mic'd up for that game at Lambeau Field.
Play action pass. Love takes a shot deep downfield into triple coverage. It's intercepted by Merritt.
This is Merrick's first career Defensive Player of the Week award, and I love the sound of him running and making those noises as he's running. I love that.
That's what I do when I'm just walking around.
I've heard
the studio in the newsroom.
I've heard it firsthand.
Yeah, I know. It's awkward, I know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry.
You got it.
All right. And catch my breath. We'll be right back. All right, bottom of the hour now, and believe it or not, Wurstfest kicks off this Friday in New Braunfels. If you've ever been, you know it's all about the music, the sausage, and the beer, but it is rooted in the German heritage of the city. Myra Arthur shares how it all got started in this KSAT Explains.
Fall in one of the fastest growing cities in America is the worst. Or rather, it's all about the worst. Wurstfest takes over the city of New Braunfels every fall, a time when the town's German past is every bit its present.
It's a celebration of the German culture. The name itself, Wurst, is sausage.
The festival began in 1961.
Originally, it was started by Ed Grist, who at that time was a local meat inspector.
And we had 19 sausage makers here in New Braunfels back in 1961.
And he thought that a festival would be a good opportunity for them to show off what they made and let whatever crowd came to the festival judge who was the best.
What started as a one-day event with roughly 2,000 people in attendance is today a 10-day festival that attracts more than 200,000.
You're going to see a lot of the traditional things that go on at Oktoberfest in Munich or some of the others, the wearing of the traditional clothing.
Tradition is at the heart of it all during Wurstfest. New Braunfels was founded by German royalty.
Germany was kind of becoming united, and the royalty was losing their tax abilities because they went. The taxes now went to a federal government rather than to the locals, and they were trying to figure out how to continue being wealthy enough to maintain their castles.
The plan was to start a colony in the United States. A member of a German royal society called the Adelsverein came to Texas, or what would become Texas that same year. Prince Karl of Solms-Braunfels in Germany founded New Braunfels in 1845, and German settlers followed.
Their entire belongings were kept in one sea chest. That's all that they were allowed to bring.
The origin story of the city is told here at the Sophienburg Museum.
And this spot right here, as a matter of fact, the Sophienburg, was actually where he established his first home, and this was supposed to be the castle because this is the highest point in Old New Braunfels.
Sophie was to be Prince Karl's wife. She found out things were a bit rugged here in Texas and never made the trip. So Prince Karl went back to Germany, but other royalty stayed.
How did that German influence grow over the years? How does it lasted this long?
Well, we kind of stuck here with our German language because we were mainly all Germans in this town. In World War II, we were no longer allowed to teach German in the high schools, for example, for several years, and the newspaper had to quit printing in German. But up until that time, everybody at home spoke German and then learned English also.
Holding on to that German heritage is part of the Wurstfest recipe. And yeah, the food too.
Obviously sausage on a stick. We have pork chop on a stick, pretzelbraten, Kartoffelpuffer. It's a potato pancake.
What?
Kartoffelpuffer. Wurstentaschen.
Wurstentaschen is a brat on a pita bread, covered in sauteed onion, green peppers, and sauerkraut, and then most people top it with brown spicy mustard.
And pair it with a beer, probably.
And always pair it with a beer.
Bobby Johnson has worked this booth at Wurstfest for 10 years.
It can get crazy. I've seen it all.
The Downtown Rotary Club is one of the more than 20 nonprofits raising money at Wurstfest. And for many of them, this is their biggest fundraiser of the year.
100% of our money goes back into Comal County.
The good that we do for the community and what we give back, it was just another opportunity for giving community service.
Members of the Wurstfest Association are called OPAs.
In German, Opa means grandpa or grandfather.
But some OPAs are, well...
lots of chicken dances, lots of Fliegerling.
More fun than others.
I'm Eric Couch, and I am the 2024 Wurstfest Grosse Opa.
What is a Grosse Opa?
I am the Spaßmeister, the fun master. My job is to make sure everybody's experiencing fun, having a good time, experiencing a little bit of Gemütlichkeit. It's a word we use in German for feeling good. It's kind of like coming together with your family and your friends for an enjoyable afternoon.
Wurstfest takes place on the grounds of an old mill in Landa Park. There's the Wurst Hall where people drink and dance, and on the walls, the family crests of each OPA.
You know, Zunker and Drieber Siebert and Schumann. These are families who've been here a long time. This one up here actually did get a little bit of the fire damage, a couple of these.
In 2019, a fire destroyed the building connected to Wurst Hall, the market plots.
Which is where most of our food vendors are.
It was combustible material that had been left close to a light.
So this sign was in our original booth that the fire took away.
That heat just dissipated throughout that entire thing. And about 6 o'clock on that Friday morning, the whole roof just went up in flames.
The next year, COVID hit. 2020 is the only year in the history of this event that Wurstfest hasn't happened. Today, the market plots has been rebuilt, and Wurstfest kicks off like it always does.
We will pass out the sausage and do an official biting of the sausage to open the festival, as well as a tapping of the keg. Got to have that.
For all the food and the fun, there's a deeper meaning for those who love this festival.
It's a time when families and friends and people that hadn't been together just come together.
Yeah.
And the reason I get a little choked up, I have family that have dispersed. My youngest daughter's out in Utah, my brother's out in New Hampshire, but it's Wurstfest. We're coming in, we're gonna be here. You know, we've got to be, I mean, it's gotten to be a bigger celebration of family for us than Christmas. So you got me a little emotional because I'm very passionate about that.
The fun guy can get emotional too. It's okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's a homecoming for some, a celebration of heritage for others, and a way to pass down traditions to a new generation.
It's a story that needs to be told because many of the children don't understand exactly where New Braunfels came from and what it all means.
Oh, fantastic stuff. A reminder, Wurstfest kicks off this Friday, November 7th, and to watch this episode along with the entire library of KSAT Explains, you can scan that QR code there at the bottom of the screen. All right, we'll take a break and be right back. All right, 6:41 now on this Wednesday. An area family is hoping to make a big splash later on tonight on the hit ABC show Shark Tank. The 6 members of the Titzman family will pitch their Medic multi-tool. This is it right here, in the hopes of striking a deal with one of the wealthy TV investors. So essentially, as I demonstrated here, is a giant triangular cotton bandage that doubles as a first aid kit and does a whole lot of other things. So I went to their home in Jourdanton to see the product and their pitch.
Hi, I'm Ally, and we're asking for $50,000 for 10% equity.
They certainly have the pitch down. Question is, can they close the deal tonight on Shark Tank?
You see Shark Tank, it's like a faraway thing. But we'd go to trade shows showing off our product, or with her camp that she owns and operates, summer camps, also showing off this product because it's great for the camp world. And multiple people, oh, you guys should go on Shark Tank. Ah, okay, whatever. There you hear it again and again.
On the kitchen table inside their Jourdanton home, 2 of the Titzman girls demonstrated their invention, the Medic multi-tool.
You wrap it around once or twice, go this way, wrap it around here, and go this way, and then you tie a knot just right here, and that'll secure it. But if you don't have enough tails to do that, then there's a few other ways you could do it, such as holding it there, asking someone else to hold it there, or if your patient is still conscious, you could ask them to hold it.
I mean, you can use this for like 10 different things, right?
Well, like 100 different.
100 different things. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. How could you say no to this adorable family? We'll find out soon enough if the Sharks were in or out. Either way, Mom Michelle says the family has already won big.
The nerves for the business end of it, for me, were not as high. My nerves were the fact that these 4 incredible humans were asked and they wanted to go out there and let their light shine, and gosh, they did.
Fantastic stuff. And Daniel is a former Army helicopter pilot, San Antonio firefighter, just a fantastic family out of Jourdanton. And so we're sending them positive vibes tonight. Shark Tank, 9 o'clock right here on KSAT. Meanwhile, outside right now looking pretty good. Obviously dark and traffic moving along just fine. Full moon, I believe, in the forecast. Adam Caskey breaking it all down for us. Coming up. Okay, time to talk weather situation. And weather's not too bad, but we could certainly use some more rain.
Oh, yeah, we could really use some rain. And you look at the drought monitor, and we did have some improvements, okay? When it was it's updated every Thursday, and last Thursday it updated with some improvements. We'll have an update by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, GMSA at 9. We'll have the newest update. But you see the extreme and severe drought across our metro area and a good chunk of South Central Texas. It has been over 1,500 days since all of South Central Texas was drought-free, meaning we didn't have any of the drought categories all across the KSAT 12 viewing area. It's been over 1,500 days. That was back in 2021. It's been a while. Now, we've had some improvements and fluctuations, of course, in parts of our area, but it's been that long since it's been completely not even a color on our map. Upper level high, Big Blue H, dry high, that's still dominating our pattern. Actually, there's a decent little disturbance that's been over the Gulf for a few days. We've been talking about it, creating some showers on the east and north end of it. Ideally, that would drift westward, and often that would happen and move into Texas, but unfortunately, it's being blocked out by that upper level high. Upper level high ruining the rain party for us. It's a bit of a fuddy-duddy when it comes to rain. I love that word, fuddy-duddy, by the way. Anyway, looking at the rain, it's all offshore. Good rain over the Gulf, just not here over Texas. It's basically in the northern corners of the lower 48 where we have the best precipitation and rainfall potential. New England and Pacific Northwest, actually a big barreling upper level low dropping in to the Pacific Northwest. Their winds are picking up and they're feeling some changes. Our cold front on Sunday is going to be a strong one. It's going to take our high temperatures from right near 90 down into the 60s. And this is the difference between Saturday and Sunday for those highs. Morning low temperatures right near 60 down into the upper 30s by Monday and Tuesday morning. And of course, the humidity is going to take a big hit. Very, very dry desert-like air in place with it. That's going to increase the fire danger, and we'll get to that in a moment. First of all, so far this fall, the coolest afternoon we've had was 69 degrees right before Halloween. And the coolest morning we've had was 40, and that was October 30th, right before Halloween. We're going to break that. By Monday and Tuesday, morning temperatures likely in the upper 30s, even in town with this next cold front. Until then, it's going to be spring-like. Again, you're not going to feel these changes until Sunday and then on into Monday. There's that strong front, the core of the cold air up across the Great Lakes and the Midwest, but it's going to move in and you're going to feel it. Pre-dawn hours on Sunday is when that front hits. Notice by 5 a.m. on Sunday, the winds are already howling out of the north, gusting around 40 to 45 miles per hour. That's the latest with the model data. And this, of course, can change a little bit between now and then, but typically fronts of this strength have some pretty strong winds. And with the very dry air that it'll have, of course, it elevates our fire danger on Sunday. Most of our area in a burn ban as it is, but even simple things like, power tools that create sparks can sometimes, in tall grass or something like that, ignite a fire, and cigarettes disposed of improperly can cause fires as well. It's just something we have to watch out for. Upper 80s into Saturday, and then Sunday, boom, it's whiplash. Temperatures in the afternoons back into the 60s.
All righty, sir. Thank you very much. Well, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC Primetime at 7 o'clock. Shifting gears. 7:30, Abbott Elementary. At 8, it's The Golden Bachelor. And then at 9, Shark Tank with the Titzman family from Jordanton, followed by the Night Beat at 10. All right, minutes away from the top of the hour and another episode of KSAT Sports Now. Larry is standing by. It's going to be a late night for Spurs fans tonight.
Yeah, it is, because the Spurs are playing out on the West Coast at the LA Lakers, so that's about a 9 o'clock tip-off time here. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to preview it for you with a Know Your Foe segment when it comes to the Lakers and Luka Doncic, who is definitely the head of the snake for the Lakers right now, so we're going to talk about that. And you know what? Victor Wembanyama has never beat Luka in his NBA career. We're also talking the Dallas Cowboys. Their defense, one of the worst in the league this season. So yesterday, ahead of the trade deadline, they picked up a couple of defenders, a defensive tackle and a linebacker, and the Cowboys seem to really like those moves. And Mack Brown, former Texas Longhorns head football coach, he was in town earlier today at a luncheon that benefits the Gridiron Heroes. And while there, we asked him some questions, including how he feels about the initial college football playoff rankings that came out yesterday. SAFC, their season is over with, but they have a message to the fans, and we've also got our latest Scholar Athlete of the Week. We'll be right back after the break.
We had some 90s on the map today. San Angelo, Abilene, and even Carrizo Springs and Cotulla hit 90 and 91. Right now, temperatures already dropping near 70. Tomorrow morning, we wake up into the upper 50s, a little bit of fog, and then sunny and warm in the afternoon, 83 here in town, but again, near 90 south and west of San Antonio. The temperature whiplash comes over the weekend, cooling Sunday.
We'll be ready for it. Thank you. We'll see you tonight for the night feed.